Hi, this is Michael Goldstein. I'm with Kitchen Remodeling SEO, and this is our webinar on how to optimize your website for maximum sales and maximum conversions. Today is Saturday, February 27th. It is 11 a.m., and we are live on Zoom. We're also going to be recording this webinar for anyone who has missed it or wants to see the replay. So, like I said, what we're going to be doing today is in this month's webinar, talking about how to really optimize your website, not so much to get people to the site, but rather once you have done your SEO and once you have done your pay-per-click and your social media marketing, and you've got people coming to the site, this is actually going to be how you get them to fill out the forms, how you get them to pick up the phone, how you get them to engage with you via Messenger or any other medium that through digital marketing that you wish in order to get that conversation started. So just a couple housekeeping notes. If you could please just turn off your cell phones, shut down Facebook, instant messenger, texting, whatnot. Because if you're serious about increasing your kitchen remodeling, bathroom remodeling leads, the next 45 to 60 minutes is going to be really critical. And we're going to show you some amazing tips and strategies to help you take those leads or to help you take those visitors that are already coming to your website and literally turn them into qualified prospects. So who am I? Why should you listen to me? I mean, there's so many people out there that put on webinars or throw something up on YouTube and they say, hey, you should listen to me. I know what I'm talking about. Well, I don't want you to take my word for it. I want to tell you a little bit who I am and what I do. So like I said, my name is Michael Goldstein, and I am the founder of Kitchen Remodeling SEO. Prior to that, I ran a nationally and internationally known web development company named Animal 57 Web Productions since 1999. I am the author of the Ultimate Internet Marketing Guide for Kitchen Remodelers, where we actually outline all of the tools and all of the techniques and the strategies in order to really optimize not only your website, but to drive people to your site. And this goes through soup to nuts from, beginning your digital marketing, setting up Facebook, setting up your Google My Business profile, all the way through optimizing and making the sales. We have worked with a number of kitchen remodelers who are members of the NKBA, of the National Kitchen Bathroom Association. We've spoken, or I have spoken personally at numerous industry events regarding SEO best practices. I have been written up by the Boston Globe. I have my work and some of the pieces that I've written have been linked to on NBC, ABC, CBS, and lots of other major media networks. Essentially, I am somebody who really knows what they're talking about as it relates to SEO, as it relates to optimization and social media marketing. And I do have the third-party validation and the social proof to back that up. And the reason that I'm bringing all this out is not only just to promote myself, but to let you know, and these are some of the things that you're going to want to show on your end to your customers is why, they should listen to you, because you do have that social proof. So let's talk about the problem. Over the last year, I know everybody has really been hurt by COVID. People don't want you in their houses. They don't want you got in their kitchens, got in their bathrooms. And all of a sudden now, the opportunity is starting to come back, and you're starting to put lots of money into internet marketing, into mass media, TV, radio, into newspapers, billboards, whatever it is that you're doing, you're putting money in, you're trying to drive traffic. But the problem is, are you getting leads? Is your website built to convert? This is great. You're probably driving hundreds, if not thousands of people to your site every month if you're doing it right. But once you get there, are they just looking at your site and leaving without telling you who they were? Are they filling out a form? Are they picking up a phone? Are they hitting your live chat? So like I said, even if you have a great site, this is the perfect example of one of our clients, Kitchen Design Solutions. They're based in Savannah, Georgia. And this heat map shows where they are ranking whenever someone types in the term kitchen designer. If you're in any of these areas, all the way from the bottom of Georgia up to the southern tip of South Carolina, and they're basically ranking number 1 or 2 across the board. However, them getting those rankings, it really doesn't mean much if people aren't filling out the forms. And this may be you as well. And if it is you, that's fantastic. It's half the battle. It's probably more than half the battle, quite frankly, to get people to your site. But once you get them there, you've got to convert them. So the key is really just to consistently convert visitors into callers and take those calls and turn those into actual sales. So, one of the things is we want to make sure that, you have a full schedule. You have all your trucks running. You don't have 7 or 8 trucks sitting in the warehouse. You don't have, you're not laying off some of your technicians because you just don't have enough work. The key right now is how do we generate more leads and how do we turn those leads into actual sales so you have jobs to do? So it all starts with your website. The website really is the hub of your marketing effort. And whether it's because you're doing social media on Facebook, on Instagram, whether you're putting up YouTube videos and advertising on that front, whether you're just doing SEO on Google and Bing or GMB optimization, whether you're using Google Ads, whether you're doing LinkedIn, whatever the case may be, everything all drives together and comes to your website. So your website really is the hub. And one of the keys with your website is however you drive people to your site, you also want to make sure that what you mentioned in those ads, what you mentioned in your, even in your meta tags to make someone see you in Google, whatever you said that got them to your site, you need to make sure your website mirrors that message. So the question, a lot of people ask me is, well, why is conversion all that important? As long as I'm getting eyeballs, they'll come back to me eventually. Well, will they? It's a really good question. So let's look at 2 scenarios. Now, scenario one, let's assume you have 200 visitors per month. Let's assume of those 200 visitors, you can get 5% of them to either pick up the phone, engage with a bot, or fill out a form on your website. So that means you're going to get 10 calls or 10 leads a month. Now, what's your close rate? Let's presume industry standard close rate's about 20%. So that means of those 200 visitors, you will get 2 booked jobs out of that. Now let's presume that you're on the high end cabinet refacing, or maybe you're doing a lower or a smaller full kitchen model. Your average transaction $20,000 a pop. So what does that mean? That means you're going to generate $40,000 in gross revenue before you pay for any of your expenses. And as we all know in this industry, $40,000, that's really not a whole lot of money. When you look at the cost to do this, the cost of materials, the cost of labor, the cost of advertising, and all of that. So let's look at scenario two. Why is conversion so important? Same situation. 200 people per month come to your website. But instead of a 5% conversion, let's presume you can convert 15% of those 200 into actual leads, into people who pick up the phone, fill out a form. That means now you're going to get 30 calls. Now, again, we're going to assume you don't do anything to your sales process. You're going to close at 20%. That means you're going to book 6 jobs. What does that mean? At $20,000 in average transaction, that's $120,000 in revenue every month. Reoccurring revenue every month. What is this? This triples your leads, it triples your revenue, and the only thing you've done differently is you've tweaked your website so that people convert, so that they're not just tire kickers, but they actually make a phone call. They actually fill out a form, they engage with you, and it gives you at bats. It gives you the chance to sell them. So, looking at the breakdown of what the math is here. Again, let's presume you can get 30 leads. Let's say that your total SEO investment plus your social media investment is about $2,500 a month. All right. That means you're paying on average $83.17 per lead. Well, if your average ticket sale is $20,000, not bad. So why is getting your website built to convert so important to you? I mean, a lot of people will say, hey, I get people that are going to call me up and it just doesn't matter. Well, I think the case that I just showed you kind of makes that case for why you want those eyeballs to turn into phone calls. But there are certain things that we can do. And we have actually outlined 12 specific elements that you can do to your website. Generally, these are elements that you can do on your own, or at the very least, you have some IT person that can help you with this, that can make a huge difference in whether or not you're doing 40,000 or you're doing 120,000. So the first thing is you need to speak to your target audience. You need to speak to, we call it the avatar. Basically, what you need to think about, what are their fears, what are their frustrations, what's their pain points, and your messaging needs to reflect that in the content that you put out, in the images that you put on your website. You want to be real. Number two is so critical here, is you want to use real, authentic images of you, of your team, maybe even of your team standing inside a finished kitchen that that's done with a smiling customer. People do business and they want to do business with people they know, they like, and they trust. They don't want to do business with a major corporation. This is where you stand out against a Home Depot, against a Lowe's, again, whatever the big player, the big box player in your market is. If you are a mid-size kitchen remodeling company, family run, private company that that you can actually put a face to it, you can create that human to human contact, and that is something that if you put on your website right away, it grabs the attention of users. You also want to use video and multimedia elements within that. So, for example, you may want to do a welcome message. You're sitting there, you're the owner of the company. Hey, come join me at Mike's Kitchen Remodeling. Let me tell you a little bit about why we are in this industry. We love our family, and I imagine that you love your family too. And one of the things that always drove me crazy was that I just didn't have enough space. I didn't have a great kitchen to have big events with my family. Well, now I do. Something like that. And I don't have to tell you what to say. I mean, you know what your customers want to hear, and just let them know. Videos about your services, showing your guys, showing your gals, going and maybe installing cabinets, ripping out cabinets, putting in that new granite, sitting the interior designer sitting at a kitchen table with a homeowner, kind of going through it, just showing that you are real, showing that this isn't just a big corporation. Videos explaining why someone should contact you versus the competition, and the best way to do that is with social proof. It's with creating video interviews with your happy clients. It's with pulling screenshots from Google and Facebook and House and all these other places where people have left reviews for you. And then utilizing some sort of widget to actually automate into every time you have a new review or a new video review, whatever it might be, your website updates with that automatically. But by goodness, have the third party validation, because why? People are going to do business with people they know, like, and trust. And if they hear what other people are saying, if they see your personality, they're going to like you. They're going to start to know you. And hopefully, as you give more and more social proof, they're going to trust you. Now you got to get the basics down in terms of just on page. I mean, there are certain things that if your conversion elements aren't there, you're not going to get what you need. So number one, phone number, big, bold, top right-hand corner, and follow the user throughout the site. Ensure that there's a web form, a contact form. Hey, book that free consultation with us today. Would you like one of our designers to take a look at your kitchen? Type of deal like that. And make sure that form follows them as well throughout the site, so they don't have to go looking for it. As soon as they say, I want to contact, Joe's Kitchen and Bath Remodeling, make sure Joe's Kitchen and Bath Remodeling's form is right in front of their face. You want to add credibility. One of the big pieces that is always so critical is the fact that you need to show that you have the confidence of the industry. So if you have a Better Business Bureau, if you have an Angie's List, if you have a House Award, whatever it might be, if you have a Google Award, put it up there, put it in the footer so that people can see, who you are. Even better, if you were written up in, some kind of design magazine, put that PDF, put a link on your site for press releases or of press, and have those PDFs there so they can see it. Now, number 6, kind of also very, very important. You want to ensure that you have a clear call to action. What do you want your end customer to do? Ask them for it. I can't tell you how many people don't just say, hey, click here to schedule an appointment with me. It's so critical. If you ask people to do it, they're more often than not going to do it. You want to use special offers coupons if you have them, and if you use that to drive people to your page. If you offer $250 off of bathroom remodeling on a Facebook ad, then what you want to do is you want to make sure that $250 coupon is on your website. That's really critical. Number 8, you want to make sure that your website's mobile optimized. This is so important, especially with easy click to call buttons. So many of us now are searching on our phones, or even at least on our iPads or some mobile device. When that happens, You want to be able to allow someone to click a button and call you right then and there. In the same vein, you want to leverage chatbots, live chats, anything that can get the conversation going with the user, because that really that's the at bat that you need, and that's what turns a visitor into a lead, starting the conversation. And of course, start giving clients the option to book online. If you do have that bot, have the bot offer a link to go right to your calendar. If you don't, if you're not using a bot, at least have a CTA, have a call to action that says, schedule your consultation with us today, and have it linked directly to your calendar, so they don't have to call somebody and schedule something. And once you do that, you can start an email automation reminder sequence. Now, a really big one, site speed. It matters. Not only does it matter for SEO, not only does it matter for Google, but the longer it takes a site to load, the longer it takes your gorgeous photos and videos to load, the less likely it is that someone is going to actually stick on your website. So that's important too. And then obviously you want to engage, like I said, with automation, whether it's text automation, whether it's email automation. So, some of the other things, and just let's take a break here for 1 second, is I want to point. It's a little off topic of optimization, but it also is directly on topic, which is let's talk about site speed for one additional second. And that is that Google has actually come out and said, as of May 2021, they're going to roll out a brand new core update. And part of that update is really going to be all about user experience, and site speed being one of the key factors in user experience. So if your site is not loading within 3 seconds, you're going to see a penalty. You're not going to rank as well as you will right now on Google. So the issue that you want to address here is that site speed not only does it matter for, like I said, for Google, but also, it matters for the end user. And all of this stuff, all of this website optimization for conversions, it all goes to the user experience. What makes your site better, easier, more relevant for someone looking for kitchen remodeling, bathroom remodeling services, maybe even plumbing, electric, whatever it is that you are offering. It's really critical that you make that site as engaging for the user as possible, because Google is going to start to pick up on this now. So it's kind of, it's a double whammy. So with that said, let's get back to the presentation. So of these 12 elements that we've talked about, what I want you to do at this point is really think about what is one of the biggest or what one will have the biggest impact on kind of the results that are driving your overall internet marketing, because it's not going to be the same for everybody. For some people, it's going to be, geez, you know what? I really don't even have a site with my phone number that follows people. I mean, I don't have a form. I mean, that's just the basics. You got to get that. For some people, it's, you know what? I just finished a whole bunch of great remodels, and I think I could get some video testimonials. That's fantastic. Whatever it is, you really, you want to think about that, and you want to make sure that you get that for your client base, and you want to do whatever is going to make that impact. So how do we optimize for conversions? Well, it's pretty simple. Website optimization with SEO, it's gonna turn into calls. And you want to make sure that your website has all of these different elements. So again, taking a look at at this site here for Kitchen Design Solutions, one of our clients, you'll note a lot of the issues that we've addressed are right there. And a couple big pieces just to mention, though, these are things that are a little outside of your immediate control, but rather within your IT group, is make sure the site's responsive, make sure the site speed loads. I'm sorry about that. So, and we, what you want to do is you want to kind of look at, when it does convert, what does that mean? How many leads are you getting? And of those leads, how much are you spending to get those? So, if your conversion is only 5%, then, you're going to be spending an awful lot more money to drive leads than, if your conversion rate is 20%. And the whole thing is, you're spending the same money. It's just a matter of, once you get those people to your site, How do you get them to communicate with you? So this is a great example here. So this is a web performance of one of our clients here, and you can see they had in over the course of 1 month they had 1,454 sessions. The average person was only on this site for 1 minute and 32 seconds, but they had 32.39% conversion. So what that means is that even though the average user was only on the site for a minute and a half, they they were able to really get those people right away to contact them and then to set up some sort of an appointment. So, again, when you're able to get people to engage with you, your on-site time doesn't really matter because it's going to be off-site time. It's going to be on the phone. It's going to be getting them in for an appointment or going out to their property. It's going to, it's going to be engaging with a chat bot, maybe a mini chat or a Facebook Messenger bot or something like that. So it's really, really critical that though you get that user, that visitor to take that first step, or really the second step. I guess the first step is getting to your site, take that second step and engage with you. So I'm sorry about that. Give me one moment. All right, so let's take a look at a couple examples of what we're talking about. So Nixco is a plumbing company, and they offer a decent amount of bathroom remodeling services. Some of the things right here you'll note is, the 24/7. That's their call to action. That's their ad, I should say, not their call to action. But everything they have out there says they're 24/7 responsive. So that's mirrored on their site. Phone number, prominent, right up here, and it's mobile ready. If you click on this on a cell phone, it's going to dial right away. Call to action. Again, phone number down here. Schedule a time to meet with these guys right then and there. All, they've got their truck. Now, I would tell you that having the truck, it's not bad, but what's important, their faces. They're real people and they're here and you know who you're going to be dealing with. And the owner is right there prominently. And further down on the site, there's actually a video of Jeff talking. So is your website set up to convert visitors to calls? And we're just looking at Nixon Plumbing's actual statistics. 367 total leads. They got spending about just under $5,000 or under $4,900, I should say, for the course of that month. That means their average lead was $13.25. I mean, that is incredible. And the way that you do this, again, is by not just getting people to your site, but getting them to engage with you. So is your website set up to convert? Again, when we look at total number of sessions, how many people are coming to your site? And then this is not unique users. 825 unique users come to the site 1,073 times. So some people have come more than once. Average conversion rate 38.33%. That means that's almost 2 out of every 5 people who come to the site, or 2 out of 5 times that somebody comes to the site, I should say, they're converting and they're filling out a form or they're clicking on the call button. So how can we get your website to convert like this? Well, first step, real easy DIY type of situation for everybody who's watching this, is we have actually created the ultimate internet marketing checklist for kitchen remodeling contractors. And it's a 3-page checklist, and it gives you easy actionable steps that you can follow. I would highly recommend, if you haven't downloaded this already, take a look, download the guide, totally free. Just click on this page and you are good to go. All right. Now, at the end of the day, you need to be able to understand what your client wants in order to sell your client. If you can see what Joe Jones, or I say, if you can see Joe Jones through his eyes, then you can sell what Joe Jones buys. At the end of the day, you need to be able to sell what your clients are buying, quite frankly. So you have to figure out who is your ideal client and what is it that they want. So we look at a lot of different things in coming up with what is our ideal customer avatar. What is our ideal client? Are they a homeowner? Are they a renter? Well, in this industry, they're going to be a homeowner, because if they're a renter, They don't care, and they're not putting up 50,000, 20,000, $100,000 to redo a kitchen or a bathroom. Um, what is the age range? Oftentimes it's not about how old somebody is, but rather have they been in the workforce long enough to afford your services. If you are, depending on what it is that you're offering and the value and the pricing, you may want to, you may need to look at a person in a higher age bracket. You may need to look at people in more affluent areas or less affluent areas. Maybe you're just doing cabinet refacing, and you don't, you're trying to get all the people who would love to remodel their kitchen, but they can't afford the full remodel, but they can certainly reface. So we look at all of the various pieces, and then you figure out what is it that makes up the profile of your ideal customer, because you need to write to that person. You need to create images. You need to have video that speaks to what they want. And then you need to think about what are their pain points. What is it that's driving them to actually want your services? Oftentimes in the kitchen remodeling space, I find that my clients tell us people don't have enough space or they can't organize their space properly. It's always about family time, spending more time with your family. You typically have a very family oriented customer. Now other times it's more about, why are they going to work with you versus somebody else? Well, they can't get someone to return their phone call, in 15 or 20 minutes. This is why chatbot automation is so critical. Email and text automation is so critical, because what if it is 3 in the morning and they want something done, and you know what, you're not going to be in, nobody's going to be in, but you might have a bot with AI built into it that can actually answer some of their questions, get them some material, and set up a time to talk to them, at 8 a.m. the next morning. So like I said, it's all about what is the messaging that works for your ideal client, for your client avatar. Right now, one of the things that we are finding that, on the sites that are converting the best, are they all deal with COVID safety. People are really nervous right now. They're very scared to let somebody in their home and to be in there for long periods of time, especially up in the Northeast and in the northern Midwest, where it's freezing, it's snowing, we can't have windows open, things like that. So they want to know, and tell them, do you require masks? Do you COVID test your employees? If you do, how often do you, things like that. Those are things that are really coming forward right now. We're also finding that if you talk about your pricing up front, and you're not hiding the ball, contact us for a free consultation and we'll tell you what it's going to cost. It does hide the ball a little bit. Now, of course, in this industry, you can't give flat pricing. It just there's no way to do it until you see something. But what you can do is maybe you write 2 or 3 different blog posts, create some videos about what is the cost to remodel a kitchen, what are the things that what goes into it, and all of that. So you give people the understanding before they speak to you. And the biggest piece, trustworthiness. And again, comes back to social proof. Why social proof? Because people do business with people they know, they like, and they trust. So let's kind of dig a little deeper into some of the 12 points that we brought up earlier. You want to be real, you want to be authentic, you want to show photos of yourself, you want to show videos of yourself. So Meridian Company, great example. These guys are a plumbing, heating, AC team, but they do a ton of bathroom remodeling work. And what are they doing right on their homepage? We've got the owner talking about what his company does and what the core values of the company is, making that connection between the owner and the homeowner. Here's another great example. Photos of the whole team in front of the trucks. People know who they're dealing with. Again, Nixco, back to one of our original examples. There's Jeff, there's the owner. He's right front and center. He's the guy that you're going to deal with. We're basically just showing that these are real people. This is not just a big box store. So in the same vein of showing the team and being authentic, we want to leverage multimedia to do that. So, here's Jeff again. This time he's actually talking about, what he is that he's going to do, what the company does for you, how they do bathroom remodeling and whatnot. Also, videos that show the crew going out and doing service and actually installing something. It gives that credibility, and it alleviates a little bit of the fear of, okay, but are you just outsourcing me to anybody? Even if it's, even if it's just a small job, and you don't have to go through and do the whole job soup to nuts on video, just a couple, 90 seconds. That's all that you want to show. Leveraging social proof. Again, I can't talk about this enough. Why? Because people do what? They do business with people they know, they like, and they trust. So right here, Meridian, 200 plus customer reviews through all kinds of different sources, whether it be Google, Houzz, Yelp, Angie's List, the whole deal. Again, what are customers saying? So now let's combine a couple of these elements. Let's combine social proof and combine multimedia. So now we've got not only what people are saying and the text, which, I mean, it's believable, but is it as believable as someone sitting in their brand new kitchen, their brand new bathroom, whatnot, and having you, the owner, or the salesperson who did it, sit there and do a minute or 2 minute interview with them? My gosh, I love this. We did this with one of our clients in Savannah with Kitchen Design Solutions, and they had their client come out and says, I love waking up every morning in my brand new kitchen. Thank you, Mark, so much for all you've done. And they went on and on. This went on for about 5 minutes with the owner really going through the new granite, going through the counters, the cabinets, the flooring, the architectural changes, the lighting changes, all of that. It really gives that proof, and it creates a situation where people will want to do business with you because they'll start to trust you. Same deal here for Nixco, talking about how many reviews they have. Um, you know, So getting the fundamentals right. Again, this probably is the most important piece. I'm going to presume that anybody who is putting any money into marketing already has at least done this. But if you haven't, my God, you've got to get it done. Phone number, top right-hand corner, big bold letters. Make sure it's mobile friendly. If you have a coupon of it, excuse me, make sure you have a form. That form follows you everywhere. Make sure that you give the information that's needed. Make sure that it is easy to contact you and you explain what it is that you're going to do. Now, coupons, getting back to these special offers. I create a Facebook ad that shows these beautiful before and after photos of a bathroom. And then I say, click here to get your $250 coupon off of your next bathroom remodel. Well, you better have that on your website. Again, Meridian, great example. These guys have taken that coupon from their offer, from their Google Ads offer, and from their Facebook offer, and they've thrown it right into their homepage. Now, click to call is so very important. And like I talked about before, starting in May, when Google rolls out that core update, it's going to be important not only to conversions, but it's even going to be part of the SEO algorithm. So what happens when you click to call? So when you click the button right here, the big blue button, click to call, bang, cell phone starts to dial the number. You get that conversation going, and that's how you get a lead. Now, live chat is another option. So whether it's live chat or whether it's chatbot marketing through artificial intelligence and building out bots that know the answers to most of the most commonly asked questions and then lead you to the right place, statistics have shown that the average conversion will increase by 35% when you have a chat feature. So what are the key ideas? What are the takeaways here? Let's just recap a little bit. You want to make sure you're authentic. You want to make sure you're real. Make sure you have photos of the team. You want to add video. Make sure that you're talking and the message in that video speaks to your avatar. You want to showcase those online reviews. Ideally, you want to get video of the reviews because that is going to create that instance of trusting and liking you. Your personality will come through. Your credibility with the testimonials will come through. Obviously, basics. phone number, forms, add credibility with, with logos of organizations. If you're a member of the National Kitchen Bathroom Association, hey, you're paying hundreds of dollars a year. Tell people about it. Tell them that you go to the, you do the continuing education and all of that. Obviously, make sure you update your call to action on every page. Make sure every page has a form that someone can fill out, has a phone number that's easy to click. If you're going to do coupons, if you're going to do offers, just make sure your website matches them. If you can do live chat, if you can engage in some sort of messenger bot or messenger campaign, could not recommend it strongly enough. You're going to increase your conversions likely by a third simply by adding that live chat. And then obviously, if you're going to offer that live chat, or if you're not going to offer the live chat, make sure there's a way to book something right in the company calendar so somebody from the sales team can get with a potential prospect ASAP. All right, so let me ask you, is your website optimized? We've talked about a lot of things that come into play and will make for optimization, but have you optimized your website? So of all the of all the things that we've talked about, what I would recommend that you do is pick three of the 12 that we've highlighted, and in the next 30 days, implement those. So what are those going to be? A lot of people, I think the easiest one is just let's get some photos of you and the team, maybe a welcome message. A lot of people also just encourage people to give you reviews on Google and on Facebook and on Houzz and all those places. I mean, we've talked about a lot, but what are the three that you think are you can implement on your own and you can implement ASAP? So let's get it done. Let's get the site optimized. Let's start driving more customers to you. Think about what those three items are going to be. Now, if you're like a lot of our clients, they are great at remodeling kitchens. They are artists when it comes to cabinetry. They are not marketers. They don't like to market. They don't like to make changes to their website. Many of them have websites that are over 15 or 20 years old before we got involved. If you need help, if you would like us to get involved and at least talk to you and take a deep dive and look at your marketing campaign, give us a call. I'd be happy to help you out. We like I said, the goal here, let's get 50 or more kitchen remodeling leads every month coming to, that are converting. We don't want to just drive 50 people to the site. We want to drive 200 people to the site, and then of that you want a 25% conversion rate. You want something that's going to get that ball rolling. So what do we do when we talk to you? If you schedule something on my calendar, what we'll do is we're going to do a free online marketing plan review. We're going to do an analysis of your visibility on Google, on Bing. We're going to look at the keywords for your service areas in your type of remodeling niche and what is being searched the most right now, where there's low-hanging fruit that you could rank for. And we'll actually create a ranking report for you so you can see where you rank on those key terms and what terms there's opportunity for you to jump into. We're going to do an analysis of all the online directories, make sure you're listed properly. An analysis of your online reviews. What are people saying about you? Do you know if you have some bad reviews out there? There are lots of opportunities for great reviews that you could literally pull into your website today. We'll do an analysis, obviously, of your social, of your Facebook, of your Instagram, of your YouTube. Are you advertising on Facebook and YouTube? Are you posting consistently? Do you have video that is already, the digital assets are there and you just need to upload it? And we look at that. And of course, most importantly, is we look at the website conversion effectiveness. Is there anything you can do to your website to increase conversions? So even if you only have 10 people coming to your site a month, wouldn't it be nice out of those 10 to get 2 or 3 of those to actually contact you rather than maybe 1 every 3 months? So if you do want to talk with us, give us a call, 339-645-9461, or check us out online, kitchenremodelingseo.com. Big button says schedule a time to talk with us. All right. Well, I appreciate you spending the time with me today. Now, what we're going to do at this point is for all of you who are watching this live, I am going to send you an email and you will have access to the replay. And then for those of you who maybe were watching this on YouTube or whatnot, same deal. And then hopefully I will speak to